Hello fellow Hearts of the Blue and welcome to my channel. So welcome to a rather brief but very important message. Most of your tufts are not looking good and I want to help you fix that. Listen, I like all tufts, big, small, fluffy, trimmed. A tuft is something beautiful, but a well taken care of tuft can make the difference between indifference and a compliment, and trust me, very few things feel as good as someone praising your tuft. A lot of people are afraid of styling their tufts, but it really makes a massive difference. Something as simple as washing your tuft is a game changer. It will make your tuft stand out and be the center of attention. You can even cut them into shapes and trim them for special occasions. So let me please show you how you can improve the look of your boring tuft so much that everyone will want to see it here on my own tuft. But before we start, let me talk about today's video sponsor, Manscaped. Nah, just joking, but what a segue! Manscaped, come on, the email is right in the description. You're welcome. So the base for this chunky boy is now all painted. This was painted using my crackle paint video. If you want to know how I did it, you can just click the top right corner and it will get you there. But if you look at these tufts, they look a bit boring, a bit, artificial. So what are we going to do? We're going to paint them. And how are we going to do that? Well, as we do with all our miniatures, we are going to shade them and then we're going to highlight them. And for the shading part, we are just going to use Agrax Earthshade. I'm going to use Agrax because that's the shade that I use in the base right here and it's going to complement very well. I'm going to use this at the bottom of each tuft. I'm just going to take my brush loaded with Agrax and just tap the base of each tuft until it gets well shaded. Just that alone, just look at the massive difference it makes just with that simple thing. You don't want your brush overloaded with wash here because it's not going to flow into the tuft very well. You just want a little bit so you can basically tint the base of the tuft. And yeah, you can clearly see what a massive difference it makes on the overall appearance. It makes the tufts blend much better to the base, much more realistic look. And now we want to highlight our tufts. And which color you use, it really depends on what you want to convey. As I use a Scream and Skull for the highlights on my crackles, I'm just going to use Scream and Skull to highlight my tufts. It's going to desaturate them a little bit and turn them a little bit dry, which matches perfectly the style of the base. You want your brush loaded sort of like this. Not a lot of paint really, but not a dry brush. And just going to gently pick up the top of the tuft, just like that. Very gently running it across the very edges of the strands of fiber. I use different colors of tufts, but with the shading and the highlighting, they are all combined, but still have a different hues and shades, which really helps convey realism. And you can see what a massive difference it makes. It changes the appearance of the tufts completely and they look much more realistic now, which is what we want, obviously. And that's it, as simple as that. Really is just a two-step process that doesn't really add any more time to your paint job. How much was it? About 3 minutes for a base, and the difference is so big that it's really worth it. So, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. So that was it. It's that simple. Wash your tuft and then brush it with a light color over the top. I've used a Screaming Skull on mine, but you can use anything, for example, Ice Yellow from Vallejo. A good choice as blonde tufts are quite popular currently. But I will encourage you to discuss your tuft maintenance with your partner. After all, they are the ones that will be looking at them from across the battlefield. Thank you very much for watching this ridiculous video. Some of you may have noticed in this episode a lot of double entendres, which for those who don't know is French for double entendre. Sorry. Finally, a special thank you to all my patrons and channel members who make these videos possible. You can see their names scrolling the screen right now. If you want to be on that list, you know what you have to do, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.